Welcome to HCEC-TV. I'm George Pennington, your occasional host. And today on my left, we have Professor Stan Holmes. Is that right? Did I get it right?
You can call me Professor.
Professor Stan
That's okay.
Holmes. So I call a lot of people Coach, or I call them Professor.
Understand.
And I may call them both in the same darn
I've been
sentence.
called both.
In the same darn sentence. I know you have been on here many times.
Yes.
But this is my first time interviewing you. So if you don't mind, give us a little bit of your background. You don't have to give your ACT scores unless you want to brag, okay? You don't have to do that, okay? All right. But if you don't mind, tell us where you're from,
Okay.
a little bit about the evolution of your career, and then we'll get into today's topic.
My name is Stan Holmes, and yes, I am no stranger to many of you. Of course, I call myself a native of Hardin County now because I've lived here for more than 35 years.
Good
So I
gracious.
would believe
You're indigenous. You're
yeah,
indigenous
I
now.
believe
Yeah.
that would make me definitely
Yeah.
a native of
Yeah.
Hardin County now. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
Go Cards.
Yes, by way of military is
Go
what I
Cards.
tell people all the time. I served in the military. I was a construction mechanic in the military.
Were
and
you? Okay.
Yes, I worked on heavy construction material and for many years. And of course, once I got out the military, I stayed here in this great Hardin County area. Me and my wife have raised 6 children.
Good gracious.
Yes.
Good gracious.
We have 9 grandchildren, and we are...
Can you lend me a couple?
When?
Oh, can you lend me a couple? I'm just saying.
9 grandchildren and 2 dogs. So we are doing very well here in Hardin County. It is a pleasure to be here. As George was saying, I am a former city councilman with the city of Radcliffe as well. I served as a city council member for 12 years on the city council.
Okay. 12.
Yes, and I'm also an educator. So I teach I'm a special education teacher that teaches math to
Right.
special education students.
Sure.
And I've been doing that with Fort Knox for 10 years. I served in Hardin County here for 12 years as an educator.
Okay.
So it has been a pleasure to be an educator for many years. I also served as a professor with Sullivan University.
I saw that. Adjunct professor. And you taught management, business
I
courses?
taught business management courses, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's a little bit about Stan Holmes.
Okay.
And I can't do this without saying my wonderful wife, Pamela Holmes. And I have
You've been rehearsing that one,
That's
haven't
right.
you? You've been rehearsing that.
We've been married for 33 years, so
Oh my
it's a
gosh.
blessing, yes.
Okay. I saw you put that in big print so you wouldn't forget to say that. Big print over there,
That's
people.
right.
Yeah. Big asterisk. Don't forget.
Don't forget.
Yeah. You're learning. You're learning.
I've been taught a lot well.
Yeah. Okay. Now your first degree was with McKendree.
That is correct.
Okay. Now
Yes.
that's business management.
That is
or
business
something?
management is what that is with McKendree University.
Gotcha.
And then
Then Embry-Riddle. Is
that's
that right?
That's
Embry-Riddle.
Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I got a MBA.
MBA.
In actually, it is in aviation administration.
Yes.
So I'm actually capable
And
of running an
avionics
airport.
administration.
Yes.
Because I looked today and they have that degree,
Yes.
MBA.
Yes.
And in aviation
That is
administration
correct.
or something
That is
like
correct.
that. Isn't
Aviation administration.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And then, of course, the final degree, as you
There-
said,
and then-
is with Western Kentucky University.
Go Tops. Sure.
Yes,
Sure.
go Tops.
Sure. Okay. Gotcha. Now, when did you retire the military?
Basically, I got out of the military. It was 1993 when I finally was able to get out of the military.
Okay, 1993.
And, yes, and it was actually under a medical discharge is what I
Okay,
received.
gotcha.
And I was able to get a blessing of being able to attend school.
Okay.
Through the VA program that they had. And I always tell people that it's a great program and it's a very, very good benefit to you getting a good education, because the military is definitely looking for obligations to help you to better yourself in the future. And that's what they did. They allowed me to do that by receiving my bachelor's degree through that program.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I was telling you earlier, I used all but 32 cents of my GI Bill. So, and while you're in, they promote.
That's correct.
While you're there,
Yeah.
I was on the end of a flight line way back in the UK, dark old cold nights, and they bring a class out
Yeah.
to you and say, hey, let's
Yeah.
do a class.
The corresponding courses we did back then, George, you can name it. You name it, we've done it. It's everything we could do to possibly get a good education. That opportunity was available to us. And again, I appreciate that opportunity. It was not always easy, because not everything is easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Okay, so now tell us about, you've been active in Radcliffe growth in politics and business. Tell me kind of the evolution of Radcliffe as far as the growth and business growth as you've seen it over the years?
Okay. Well, you know, people really wondered what was going to happen to Radcliffe after the 194th left.
Yeah.
And, you know, with any city or state or anyone else of any government entity, we always seem to be able to find a way to turn things around. And I can truly say that was one of the good things that Radcliffe was looking to do. There always are going to be some struggles, but
Sure.
struggles also mean growth in many different areas. So it allowed us to look at what we needed to do in order to develop ourselves, how we could put plan and processes in action to make those things happen, and we were able to do that as a good team. A lot of times there were struggles within, but of course at the end of the day, you know, the team comes together and makes things happen because it's not about us, it's about Radcliffe in the end, and that's what it was all about.
Sure. My wife grew up in E-Town,
Wow.
and as a kiddo, she would say, "Oh yeah, it was a long way to Radcliffe," and you go, "What?" but it was just a little 2-lane road, and she thought that little 8-9 miles was just a long way, and now it's just boom, you know,
Right.
almost.
Right.
Good gracious, you're right.
And I'll say, can I add this too? I'll say this. A lot of times, people tend to believe that Radcliffe and E-Town are divided in two areas in many different ways. But guess what? When you look at the dynamics of really what things
Sure.
are happening within our county,
Yeah.
we need to work together. We
Absolutely.
need to find those things and
Yeah.
make them happen together because there's
What affects
there's
one affects the other.
Exactly.
What's good for here, you know.
Exactly.
If,
you said it best. That's great.
No, I didn't say it best. I didn't say it best. Interesting. Now, I'm from Madisonville. There's I-41, and they've renamed it, 79, some kind of interstate now.
Okay.
And we've kind of struggled over the years to stay on the map. Hoptown, Christian County will get something right down there before Campbell, Clarksville. Evansville will
Right.
snag something,
Right.
Henderson will, and Madisonville's kind of hung on, but just barely. I mean, how do areas, Bowling Green, I've been Bowling Green for 1,000 years. We're trying to compete with them, areas that have pretty good roads going by. How do areas like us, how can we be competitive in attracting businesses, and knowing that we're competing against the Christian County, Hoptown, Bowling Green kind of areas?
That is a great question, George. And as I think about it for myself, I think one of the different things that we've got to do there's a couple of things we could do. One, it's the unity of understanding one another and what those needs are, you know, because again, if we are working together as we should, E-Town, Radcliffe, and other surrounding cities, then we're going to understand the dynamics of what is going to work for us all by talking together, getting feedback from one another, and bringing those ideas together and making them work for our community. There's not only the ability to make E-Town work alone, but there's the ability to make E-Town, Radcliffe, and surrounding areas work together.
Sure.
And that takes many different opportunities that, Fort Knox gives us a great opportunity to reach out to government contracting. You know,
Yes.
I could go on and on and on with the many different things, but those are just two things that come to my mind that really can make change and us bringing that change together to make it happen.
Okay. Tell me the genesis of the Mill Pond Business Park. Tell me how that started and how that's developed, or whatever.
Well,
for people that may not have followed it,
and
early
that's
on.
true. Yes. Well, I do recall, and I'm thinking it was when I first got on the council.
Okay. Which was about what year?
That was 2006.
06. You were on
Yeah,
council. Okay.
about 2006, and Mayor Inyard, Sheila Inyard was the mayor at the time, and
Okay.
then we were looking to develop that particular park and see about getting businesses over there and those different types of things.
Yes.
And we would go out, you know, to different training and find out what's available and how we can make that particular area work. And then, of course, when Mayor Duval came on as well, he looked at different things that could possibly make that happen as well. So it takes many years. You know, some people expect things to happen overnight, but I'm here to tell you government doesn't work like that.
It doesn't, does it?
Okay?
It doesn't, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes time, and we have to look at, because no sooner than we get someone on the council, we may have someone leave the council, which changes the dynamics of the team.
Yeah.
Okay? So in order to make that team work, we got to look at all aspects of what's possible for our city and bring that together.
So was it starting to develop about the time?
Yes.
About 06-ish?
That's correct.
When it kind of started? Okay.
That's correct,
That's
yes.
kind of about 08's when I remember driving up there and just kind of looking around at the
Yeah, because we were
infrastructure a
really
little
in
bit.
discussion at that time.
Okay.
And like I said, and just bringing people out to see what they could actually do for us and learning different things that we could do with it and those different types of things and what funding was available to make things happen, those different kind of things.
Were there grants available to help with the infrastructure?
Yes, there were grants
the sewer,
available. There was
the
for
sewer,
infrastructure.
electricity,
Exactly.
building,
Those even to basically build some buildings and those different types of things. So yes, infrastructure was definitely a good piece that could bring some different things to the table. What can really continue to help that? Well, when you look at it, infrastructure is still a good piece of that. But also, you know, we are a world that understands how powerful the internet can be for us now.
Sure.
So that that being able to reach people with that source of internet in all areas, the rural areas struggle with that.
Yes.
And we still got to focus on making that change.
Okay, gotcha.
I hope that answers your question.
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Now, just curious, when there where Oak Boundary is, right? Seems like that area has some more potential for growth. Tell me about how you understand that area.
Oh, wow. You know what? Tourism is a big piece of our community, okay? And Boundary Oaks has been a real...
I said Oak Boundary. Boundary Oaks.
Boundary Oaks has been a real piece that has brought people to our community and able them to know who we are and what is in our area. So, you know, we've got to realize how important that tourism piece is and make it work for us. This shouldn't be the last piece of tourism that we put in place here in Hardin County to make that work for us.
Right.
You know, heck, I see now that they have the sports museum, or is it the sports museum here in Elizabethtown?
The little sportsplex? The Hall of Fame.
Yes,
basketball Hall of Fame.
exactly.
Yes,
The
basketball Hall of Fame.
That's a great piece for us as Hardin County. And then, of course, also the sports park as well.
Yeah,
that's another great piece. You know, so we have many different. Now, how can we continue to make that work? Heck, another sports park down in the Radcliffe area, because this dynamics is working well for us, as we can see. So let's continue to grow on that piece and bring people in to get involved with us to make those things happen, so that our tourism, our sports, and because people want to go where families can enjoy themselves.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for, and we know that. So when we are a walkable, family-friendly community, it works for us all.
Yeah, it does. It does. When I Googled your name, this is one of the things I found, okay? Stan Holmes. What's the lift? What was the lift project? And this was a few years ago. Local investment for transformation. Is that right? Lift.
Yes.
Yeah. And I saw, and there was trying to get community support for that.
Yes.
So were you integral in that project?
Yes, I was a part of. It was when we talk about the LIFT program. It was basically an opportunity for when we want to build something or do something in our community. It would transform the economics of our cities into becoming what they needed to be economically, as far as growing and building and making and adding on to those particular things.
Gotcha.
So yes, that LIFT program was talking about that, and people, when they hear it, they actually thought that it was a tax kind of thing, but it wasn't.
Like a TIF.
Yes.
Rhymes with TIF.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're almost thinking that. Okay. Now the turn communities around, is that like a theme and variation, an outgrowth of that kind of? Or
actually,
are they related?
I'm glad you asked about that as well. The turn communities around, basically better known as I call it TCA, was something that I had thought about it's been about 15 years ago when I first brought that idea to a few people in the community. And the whole concept behind that was looking at what we could possibly do to develop the concepts that our community needed by creating a better path and adapting surrounding changes and building on the compassion of our cities that surround us. Heck, what I thought about when I brought that to the attention of many people was that there is always a way for us to help our cities grow.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be, you know, where, and when I say our cities, I'm talking about everyone that's involved in that city, because people make up a city or a community, okay?
Absolutely.
So TCA's whole opportunity is looking to see what we can do to help churches, help individual businesses, help entrepreneurs grow, help schools develop themselves with strategic plans and those different types of things. We want to look at what we can do to help each and every individual that is involved in our community and grow this community by building it together and making it work in a unified manner.
Okay, gotcha. So now, you were thinking along those lines even, what'd you say, 15 years ago?
15 years ago,
Kind
yes.
of 15 years
Yes.
ago. And then, so how has that progressed, or what's been?
We have come to the concept now where we have finally got it developed to where it is at least a building piece, and we have teams of individuals that are working with us on developing curriculums that we can help churches, again, that we can help schools, that we can help communities, that we help government, all those things, and touch on the basis of strategic planning, management, also in the areas of diversity and inclusion, those different types of things. We want to touch all those areas because all those areas help our community to become what it needs to be.
Gotcha. Now, Hardin County Chamber of Commerce, we've got a new young lady there, isn't that right?
That is correct.
Okay, I haven't met her. I sent her a request on LinkedIn. Did y'all get a chance to meet her?
I have not met her yet. Anna Randall, who is our recording secretary for our particular group, she may have met her because Anna is our superstar. She is one of my superstars on our team. And when I tell you she reaches out to people and connects with people well, she does a great job at that.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. But I thought Bowling Green's, Warren County's Chamber of Commerce is real active. I mean, if you open up a little fruit stand, they'll have 50 volunteers up there to help you cut the ribbon. And you go, my goodness. I mean, they've probably got 300 volunteers, but they'll have 50 that show up to
right.
I mean, it could be a little fruit stand.
And that's great.
It doesn't have to be a multi-million-dollar, but they want to celebrate all their little victories. And we may be like that now, but that's a lot of energy down there. And I thought, you know what, if we could have that kind of energy. And occasionally I'll go to one of the meetings, and it seems like there is a fair amount of energy and that it's robust and strong. But so what, does the Chamber of Commerce have a role in helping developing communities? And with the TCA?
Oh, absolutely. Number one, the chamber is always a good place to go and get resources. So for us to be able to let them know the resources we have and how we're interested in developing and helping communities is just an added piece to make our community better. Because they are definitely the first resource that most people go to when they come to an area.
They do, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. That, and I'll tell you what has also been a good piece is the Radcliffe and Vine Grove Small Business Alliance.
Okay,
that has also been that has also been a great piece to help others, especially like you said, George, those small businesses that that really don't usually get the recognition that they really need. Yeah. When you can get those people to come out, that are from the Small Business Alliance and support them, that makes that company feel good. That makes them know that they got a support base that they can really rely on and ask questions to when they really need to. So
the Radcliffe Vine Grove Small Business, it's a mini Chamber of Commerce, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah. So supporting each other's business.
Yes, supporting each other's business, and Terry Short has been doing that for a long time.
Gotcha.
Who has been the president of that organization many times, and they have really come together and really help those small businesses. Sure. And I think that's important for us to understand, again, the unity of those organizations with the Hardin County and the Small Business Alliance need to come together in order for our community to still be growing the way it should. Because in the end, you said it best, when people come to our area, they're not looking to divide us, they're looking to find ways to be a part of us. And that's what we want.
got a lot of, seems like there's a lot of veterans in this part of the world.
Absolutely.
And I have a hypothesis, don't know if it's, but I think there's more big F-150s per capita in a military community than any other place in the, I mean, really. You take this whole, from Meade County all the way down, we got 10, Coach. That's my hypothesis, more big F-150s, and many of those are military, retired military or active military. And go down to Fort Campbell, and I'm looking, trying to count all the F-150s, but by golly, we're holding our own up here.
You got that right.
We're holding our own. So a lot of veterans here. It looks like there's opportunity for the small business community, the SBA, to kind of get behind some of the veteran businesses. Is that your experience? Is that what you see, a fair amount of that?
I'm going to tell you something that has been a great tool for government contractors. And if a company is interested in being a government contractor, there are opportunities out there when it comes to the certifications that will help them to be able to get good business with government.
Is that a pretty involved process?
That is a pretty involved process in some areas. And guess what? We have people on our team that can help you with those types of things.
Okay. Because you've been through that process.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
And that's the reason I said
and it's
that.
worth going
It is
through?
worth it in the long run, and it works very well. And Radcliffe, for one, being next to Fort Knox, has an area that is a good for a certain type of certification for those particular things. And again, when you're close to someone and that opportunity, it gives you the chance to build that relationship with those individuals and hopefully build that business in the long run as well.
So, your private company, right? Do y'all go and help people if they're looking to go through that process to counsel with them and say, okay, here's the steps you might want to take or something? How does that work?
We will, the private company that I own is called MSC Ventures.
Okay, yes.
And we actually take people through that process, and we'll complete the paperwork for them. And there is a fee for that, yes.
Sure.
But it depends on the certification that they're trying to get for themselves. But we do everything from 8A to Hub Zone to services that enable veteran-owned certifications. We cover all those areas in order to help small businesses get those certifications so that they can do business with the federal government.
Okay. Because I see occasionally that Brett Guthrie or somebody will come up here and I'll see the little SBA seminar for veterans. And it seems like there's a focus on that. And I think I see in the paper occasionally they have that.
Yes, and I have been to a couple of his seminars that he's had in the past when it comes to small business and again, trying to get people to, one, understand what the process is in order to do business with the government and those different types of things. Okay. Absolutely.
Does Brian Smith show up at those?
Brian Smith shows up at those things.
Show up? Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. Brian, I'm glad you're doing something today. I'm glad you're doing something.
Brian, you're my bow tie competition. I want everybody to know it.
Yeah, he is. He's the Bill Nye looking guy. I thought, Bill, I saw him at AUSA meeting. Bill, he's got that. That's his thing.
That's me and his signature for sure. So
it is. So, we got five. We got five, Coach
Stan. All right.
We got five, Coach Stan. Okay. So what's kind of your vision for Hardin County and specifically North End up here in the next? You're a young man. Me, I'm not a day over 108.
Well,
I'm not a day over 108.
I'm right on your heels. I'm 105.
I don't know about that. I think you're a young man. I know when you graduate high school. Yeah. What's kind of your vision and hope for the county and Northern End in particular?
Oh, I love that question. I think, number one, we've got to continue to build on the relationships that we have with, one, Fort Knox.
Okay.
Two, in looking at the steps and process of what we need to do in order to continue to develop our economic development on the North End itself. I mean, you're seeing things start to build on the Knox Boulevard, but there are still areas within Radcliffe that we've still got to focus on to get that continued growth to happen. Housing is a big issue for us all. You know, when the military comes in here, we still have a lot of military that there's not enough housing for them to basically, get
either on base or off base that's
Exactly.
affordable.
It's tough for them to find somewhere to live in this process. So we've got to continue to make that avenue better for them by building more housing and different things of that nature. People want to go where work is.
Sure.
Okay? So we've got to continue to find the right work for people to do.
Gotcha.
And that means, one, we got to train them.
Okay.
Because in order for us to get them the jobs, we got to train them. Okay.
How about that Work Ready program?
Work Ready
ECTC.
program, exactly.
The ECTC, I'm an educator, and out of the ones the state offers, they offer most of them, almost 93% of them. I mean, free tuition.
Yeah.
Had I a culinary inclination, I could learn, or welding, you know. So go ahead.
Well, and the other thing I was going to add to that is, in order for that to happen, one, we have to train people. Two, we have to, like I say, the housing is a big issue for us. And three, we have to understand that not everyone is on that career path to college.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
There's great openings in many fields in the air conditioning, in plumbing, and those different types of things as well. So those are good avenues that we have to train people in as well.
And the Work Ready program will do those here in town, and no tuition. Tuition's paid for. It's a government-private enterprise, and I've never seen anything like that. They've had that last 4 or 5 years, and it's amazing.
And why not have an extension of those type of programs on the north end as well?
There you go.
Okay, because in order
have you chatted with Dr. Pate?
I have not chatted with her about that yet, but
that'd be interesting to see if we can get some of those.
Absolutely, because again, I know we're running out of time here, but as I think about that, the one key thing we got to think about is that, well, maybe transportation may be a problem for some people. So if we at least give them that opportunity to put a program like that in their area and make it closer to them until they get the training, then of course, as we building those things, and then also
transportation.
Transportation.
Because a lot of them have the fixed.
That's what I was going to say.
It's the fixed facility.
Yeah.
So it'd be cheaper to boom.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. That could be one avenue, and then also the other opportunity that we could possibly think about. I know we're running out of time. I got 1 minute.
He's got a minute. So leave your name and address and send 2 box tops to Coach Stan. No, go ahead and tell people how they can contact you and solicit ideas too.
I can definitely do. Well, number one, again, I am the president of TCA, better known as Turning Communities Around. We are a nonprofit organization that is here to develop our communities in all aspects. When I say that, we are compassionate about what's happening in our community. We are definitely looking to see what we can do to unify our community, and we're definitely looking at what the strategic planning opportunities are for churches, for entrepreneurs, for individuals that are looking to develop themselves and develop us as a community. So yes, before you make that move, before you make that choice, call TCA so we can make sure we give you an opportunity to build on what we got going on in our community.
All right. Coach Stan, appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for our producer, editor, choreographer back there, Mike person, Coach Alexis Lee. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Next time for HCEC-TV,
Thank you very much.
I'm George Pennington.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, out of those two. Yeah, out of those two. Thank you.